You have made a grave. I'm going to end you! Big mistake. Don't die! Damn it! Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
Captain Xavier, do you require my assistance?
Best not to leave anything useful behind. Is something amiss?
Textbook there. We're free. Permission granted. Please proceed to your assigned bay.
Pressure normalized, and we're docked.
Yeah?
A lot sure happened out there. We can either go fill Harper in on the details regarding the intel, or check in with Gren, pass on some of this Watchtower equipment we recovered. And maybe those guys will know what we can do with those computer core things we found.
Can't stay away, huh? Good to see you back. Any news on that listening post? Huh. Well, thanks. I'm impressed. Things went smooth, right? You didn't run into any trouble, did you?
That depends on your definition of trouble. First, there were the Watchtower troops, then the listening post wiped its data, but not before transmitting it to an array for broadcast. And then we destroyed that array. A small fleet of Watchtower ships jumped in, attacking us on sight. I don't know, any of that sound like trouble?
Well, I suppose that's why you have a fleet. If 2 ships count as a fleet. Still, that's got me wondering. How'd Watchtower have a fleet prepped to ambush you like that? They must have been watching those listening posts real close. But why? Just give me a second here. I'm gonna see what information I can pull from this intel slate. Encrypted. Not surprising. Let's run this through Gren's cracking algorithm. It worked. Quite a lot of data. I'm just skimming here, but yeah, this clears up a few things. The listening posts, Watchtower used them to track people, but only certain types of people. Huh. Looks like they got posts and surveillance arrays in most systems. They scan every ship that passes, looking for people of interest. And when a vessel gets flagged enough times, an array sends a signal to Watchtower, telling them to jump a fleet into that system.
That explains it. We're the people of interest. This is how they keep finding me, and how they found you. Sneaky little rascals.
Not sure exactly. Information is hazy. Almost seems on purpose. Like they preemptively scrubbed any major details. But I bet good credits they're not after your average Joe. Maybe. From what I read, does look like they've got listening posts in most every system. Though there seems to be exceptions. I noticed Alpha Centauri is curiously avoided. I guess because it's too hot for him there. Too many eyes watching, too many nosy officials. Can't say I know the answer to that. Data's thin on details. I mean, some systems don't even have planets you could put a listening post on. So, would they have them there? Maybe they sometimes use stations instead. I don't know.
Harper, is there any way we could find more of these listening posts and surveillance arrays? Because I'm thinking if we start shutting more of them down, Watchtower won't be able to track us as much.
Maybe. I did see something about listening posts in other systems. Hold on, let me run a quick search. Oh, crap. Gren warned me about this. The intel slate. When I started poking around for more specific info, the rest of the data kinda deleted itself. It's an inbuilt security measure. It's just how Watchtower tech works. Pretty much all of it has a self-destruct of some kind. But it's not a complete loss. I did pull the location for another listening post. There's one in the Kumasi system, on Kumasi 6.
Well, that's something. We can always go take that one down. And hey, maybe we'll recover more intel slates.
It's worth a shot. If you can bring me more of those slates, I can likely pull more locations for you. At a guess? From listening posts, or the arrays that keep them company. Each one's probably got a nugget of info we can take for ourselves. Just be ready for Watchtower to show up the moment you start poking around. Far as I know, yeah. I don't know if it ever explodes, but data definitely wipes itself if tampered with. If you've got questions about that sort of thing, best ask Gren. He know all the details. Well, the data you brought back didn't really have much value, at least to me, but I'm still happy that listening post is gone. So here, your payment, and some advice. You need to be careful out there. Watchtower really is hunting you. These listening posts, any system that has one, makes you vulnerable to ambush.
Ah, but any system we clear of them means Watchtower can't track us there.
Yeah, I suppose. Up to you if you want to keep taking down listening posts. Just be ready for a Watchtower fleet to jump in and attack you. But whatever. Bring me more intel slates, and I'll do what I can to help.
Yeah, found 2 of them. No idea what they're for, though.
You don't say. I think I've seen one of these in Gren's workshop. They store data on Watchtower schematics. It's how he built you those sky drops. But like the intel slates, without the proper credentials, you can only pull a small amount of data before it wipes everything else. This hardware's a little beyond my skill to crack, but leave it with me. I know someone who might be able to get something useful from it. You should bring that other core to Gren. I'm sure he'll have something to say about it. Well, I think we're done. Feel free to use Stardock for whatever you need. I think you've earned your spot here. I'll get you later.
That went well. Let's check in with Gren.
Hi there, friend.
Hello. Greetings, Captain.
You have my attention. Back already? Something wrong? I won't ask where these came from. But yeah, I can use these. Watchtower uses proprietary hardware. As long as I'm duplicating their tech, I'll need authentic components like these. Assuming you can provide me with enough components, I'm willing to fabricate and install more skydrops to your ships. No, I can't. Not if I'm to replicate Watchtower-level hardware. Standard components just won't cut it. Their tech is simply too advanced, and often even defies conventional logic. Despite being trained to work on their ships, I couldn't begin to explain how even half of their technology actually works. A Watchtower computer core. Huh. These units are exceedingly rare. Within them lie blueprints for watchtower constructs, things such as skydrops. Cores contain vast amounts of information, but like almost all watchtower technology, they have inbuilt safeguards.
We know. Harper already explained. We can only pull small amounts of information before these sort of things wipe themselves.
Good. So you already understand. I can only extract limited information from a core. I suspect we can mine computer cores to acquire blueprints for new types of skydrops, or even devise upgrades for your fleet command system. Indeed. I believe the fleet command system can be expanded upon. For example, with data mined from a sufficient number of cores, I could raise the number of vessels you can coordinate, as well as other adaptations. Yes, most of their tech is designed to self-terminate, though each does so differently. Data archives delete themselves. More valuable ships will often detonate to leave salvage of little value. I've even heard of select personnel who are capable of disintegration so that they'll not leave traceable remains. The cores employ a crystal substrate that maximizes capacity, pushing data storage far beyond traditional computing. Their design is also remarkably resistant to intrusion. Attempts to hack or decode them are next to impossible. Even I find them difficult to fully comprehend. I would think that self-evident. By utilizing purge protocols, Watchtower ensures that no individual can freely learn data they deem sensitive. In this way, even members within their ranks are shielded from information that could compromise the organization's security. One moment. I will establish a link to the core. Connection confirmed. I see data for 3 skydrop schematics, yet we can only extract 1. Our available choices are drops for either a ballistic turret, a Shiva unit, or a surface smoke bomb. You must make a decision. What skydrop should we gain the ability to fabricate? Calls in a Model S Shiva bot to assist you. The Model S excels at close-quarters skirmishes and rapid response. And what would that be? There, it's done. I've downloaded the relevant data. Now you'll have access to that skydrop to install onto any of your vessels. If you can find more computer cores, bring them to me, and I'll see what I can do with them. Until then, I can offer to outfit your ships with the skydrops we already have, assuming you have enough watchtower components. Gratitude is unnecessary. However, it is appreciated. If you need to restock any skydrops, or require any other ship services, just check in with Babs. I'll make sure she receives the necessary updates to assist you. Otherwise, I'll be here to help however I can. I'll return to my work, but I'll be here if you need me.
Well, that was productive. You met with Gren and didn't kill him. Harper seems to like you. We found out how Watchtower's been tracking us, and even figured out how to exploit more of their technology against them. Sure looks that way. Of course, we still don't have the full picture. But from what I can piece together, seems these listening posts are tuned to pick up, well, us. Watchtower track, monitor, and when they think the time is right, spring an ambush. No idea what constitutes the right time. Maybe they're just waiting for the perfect moment to ruin our day. But hey, we've got some of their tech figured out now. That's one step closer to turning the tables, right? Well, you know, he's got that whole watchtower thing going on. Now, I didn't think you actually would kill him, but it's good to know you can show restraint. Well, she didn't have Babs hurl you out of an airlock when you first met. That was my first clue. Besides that, usually, Harper's willing to give most folks a chance. However, she always keeps things professional. But considering she offered you free use of Stardock, that tells me she's put some trust in you. That's not something she does easily. Huh, funny. I asked Gren the same thing. You know, are we just asking for trouble, playing in their toy box, tinkering with their toys? But Gren seemed pretty confident there would be no issues. Said it's the best way to fight back, use their own tricks against them. And honestly, kinda hard to argue with the results so far. I think for the time being, keep doing whatever it is you do. Watchtower are still a problem, but at least now you have a defense against them. And if you find yourself with some free time, you can always hunt down more listening posts, or have Gren build and upgrade stuff for your fleet. And if you don't mind the company, I think I'll stay on with you. You know, as an official part of your crew. Fantastic. Feel free to treat me as you would any other member of your crew. Order me around, have me clean the toilets, put the fear of God in me. Whatever. It's your show. I'm just here to lend a hand. All right, let's get going.
Back again, I see. Hello again. I'm glad you're here. Since we...
No indigenous lifespan. One less thing to worry about, I suppose.
I have been idling and awaiting my next order for some time now.